Hello students, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jagdeep. In this video series, we are learning about market structures. In our previous video, we learned about how firms in a perfectly competitive market attain normal profits in the long run. In this video, we will take a look at how the firms would attain normal profit from earning supernormal profits in the long run. So without wasting any time further, let's get started. So now when we talk about long run equilibrium, we have to have two important conditions. The first condition is the condition for profit maximization, which is marginal cost equals marginal revenue and marginal cost cuts marginal revenue from below. The second condition to satisfy for a long run equilibrium is that there is no tendency for any change to happen in the number of firms operating in the industry. Alright, that means in the long run, average costs will be equal to average revenue. Let's take a look at the diagrammatic representation as to how firms would go from earning supernormal profits to normal profits. Alright, so now in this scenario, we have two diagrams, one for the industry, which is labeled as industry and diagram A. The second one is for the firm and is labeled as diagram B. In diagram A, we'll be plotting the equilibrium for the industry, which we all know is where the demand equals the supply. So let's draw the equilibrium. This is the supply curve, this is the demand curve, and this here is the price at equilibrium, and this here is the quantity at equilibrium in this industry. So we all know that a firm under a perfectly competitive market is a price taker. That means it will accept the price that is determined by the equilibrium in the industry. So let's just plot the price curve. Let us say this is the AR is equal to MR, and this is the price that is accepted by the firms. Now for the firm also the equilibrium condition remains the same, which is MC is equal to MR and MC cuts MR from below. Let's draw the MC curve as well. So this here is the MC curve or the marginal cost curve. Now the title of the video read how to go from supernormal profits to normal profits. Now for those who don't know what supernormal profit is, supernormal profit will happen when your revenue is greater than your cost. Alright, so let's just draw the average cost curve to get supernormal profits. So let us say this is the average cost curve. Now these curves are again long run cost curves. So whenever we draw the marginal cost curve and the average cost curve intersecting each other, we need to remember that MC will intersect or cut AC when AC is at its minimum point. Alright. Now from this point of intersection, we drop a perpendicular down to get the output for this particular firm. Let us say this is the quantity of the firm at the equilibrium level E. So to identify if the firm is making profits or losses, you need to check what is the average cost at the equilibrium level of output. So at the equilibrium level of output, this is the average cost of the firm, right? Let's draw a perpendicular here. So this is the cost of the firm. Let me just label it. So this is S and this is T. So at the point of equilibrium or at the equilibrium level of output, the firm has TQ as its average cost, whereas it has this much EQ, or you could say PO, as its revenue. So we can clearly see that the revenue is greater than the costs at this level, indicating that the firm is making supernormal profits equivalent to this entire region. Let me just shade it so that you all can see it clearly. So this entire shaded region is what the firm is making as supernormal profits. I'll label it as well. So supernormal profit is equal to P, E, T and S. Now whenever a firm is making supernormal profits, it would encourage the firm to expand its operations. It would also encourage all the potential firms to enter the market because this is a very lucrative amount of money that this firm is earning from its operations. So when new firms enter the market, or when existing firms would increase their productivity, how would that affect the industry supply? You could pause the video and think, how would the increase in output of each and every firm that is there in the market would impact the supply? Now this will cause the supply curve to shift to the right. If you are struggling with this topic, consider joining one of my online tutoring sessions where we explore this topic in depth. I'm currently teaching students from multiple countries like UAE, Singapore and Qatar. I invite you to contact me directly at the number displayed on your screen. Don't miss out on a complimentary 30-minute session. So now when the firm has increased its productivity and all potential firms are entering the market, how would it impact the supply curve? It would increase the overall supply and it will cause the supply curve to shift to the right, correct? So the supply curve is now S1 and it has now shifted to the right. Now when the supply curve has shifted to the right, it is intersecting the demand curve at this particular point. So this is going to be the new equilibrium point. This is the new price, let us say PE1, and this is the new quantity, let us say QE1. Now since the firm in a perfectly competitive market is a price taker, it will accept the price that is determined by the forces of demand and supply. So this new price PE1 coincides with this new level. So now this is the new price line for the firm. Let us label it as AR1 equals MR1. Now at this new price line, the equilibrium condition is satisfied at this particular point where MR is equal to MC. So at point E1, let me name it as E1, E1, you can see that the quantity has gone a little down at Q1, and we can also see that the equilibrium is now attained over here where the marginal cost curve is intersecting the new marginal revenue curve at point E1, and at this point long run average cost is tangent at its minimum level. So this is what long run normal profit looks like, and this is how firms would move on from earning supernormal profit to normal profits. Why would the firms go from earning supernormal profits in the short run to long run normal profits? Because since the supply increased, the overall impact in the industry was a reduction in price, right? So the price fell and the quantity increased. So now when we see that with an increase in supply, the overall price in the industry has fallen, the firm would be earning just enough to cover up their costs, and hence the firms would go from making supernormal profits in the short run to normal profits in the long run. This is how the firms in a perfectly competitive market would always end up earning normal profits in the long run. Students, if you find this video helpful, please consider using the super thanks button below. Your support is crucial for creating more high quality content free for students like you. Every little bit would make a difference. All your help is appreciated. Also, if you like learning through small videos, you could follow me over my Instagram channel. In the next video, we shall take a look at how the firms would go from incurring losses to earning supernormal profits in the long run. Until then, bye now. Take care.